Worried about aromatase inhibitors? You have every right to be scared. In this video, I'm showing you 5 shocking truths about aromatase inhibitors. Whether you're already on one of these drugs or thinking about starting one, you need to know these 5 truths. Most people's doctors won't even share this with them, but I'm gonna give it to you straight. But wait, it's not all bad news. Yes, aromatase inhibitors like Anastraozole, Letrozole, Exemestane, they can cause some nasty side effects. We'll get into that next. But the good news is that there's actually something you can do about these side effects. This is not what you're expecting. You can be in control. Even when on these drugs, you can be side effect free. You don't need to become one of the horror stories you see online. There's hope. Let me show you exactly what to do. The first thing that you need to know about aromatase inhibitors is that most women gain weight. If you found you put on 10, 20, or even 50 pounds during your cancer treatment or while taking these drugs, then I want you to know that you are so not alone. This happens to the majority of women. If you understand why these drugs cause you to gain weight, then you can prevent it from happening or lose weight. Aromatase inhibitors suppress the estrogen in your body. And with lower amounts of estrogen, it makes it more difficult to maintain or create lean muscle mass. With less lean muscle mass on your body, your metabolism slows down and your weight goes up. Not such a big deal if you're only on these medications for a short amount of time. But that's not the case. Most women will be on an aromatase inhibitor for 5 to 10 years. Some women even indefinitely, depending on your diagnosis. It becomes a real problem because we know having an unhealthy body weight or being obese actually increases your risk of a cancer recurrence. Now, you're on an aromatase inhibitor to lower your risk of recurrence, but then that same medication actually causes you to gain weight, and that increases your risk of cancer. Well, this is not good. Information about these drugs state that weight gain is not very common, but when you search deeper, you actually find that the majority of women gain weight. We need to be strategic about managing your weight while you're on aromatase inhibitors. Here's exactly how to do that. Start by eating protein at every single meal and snack. This might mean instead of just having carrots, you have carrots and hummus. Or instead of having just cereal for breakfast, you have toast and peanut butter. But we need to be more strategic about adding protein throughout your day. Protein is going to allow you to create and maintain lean muscle mass even when your estrogen is being suppressed. Keeping this lean muscle mass on board is key to maintaining and controlling your weight. So we're gonna keep it simple. Add protein at every single meal and snack. That actually brings me to the second thing that you need to know about aromatase inhibitors. They cause joint pain. Joint pain from aromatase inhibitors can vary depending on the woman. During my doctorate training, I was led to believe that joint pain from aromatase inhibitors was just not very common. But as a cancer survivor myself, I know that it actually is. Some women really struggle with joint pain. They find it difficult to sleep at night because their joints ache, or they just avoid exercise altogether because they're just so sore. Obviously, this is no way to live for the next 5 or 10 years. Avoiding exercise as a cancer survivor is not acceptable. We need to move our bodies because this is the most effective way that you can lower your risk of a cancer recurrence. So we have got to find a way to control the joint pain. Many clinicians will suggest that you just take Tylenol or Advil or another type of painkiller every day or whenever you have joint pain. But a lot of women don't want to take any more drugs after they're done with cancer. There's got to be a better way, and there is. Here is the most effective strategy to control joint pain while on aromatase inhibitors. A breast cancer survivor that I work with came to me because she was struggling with 2 things. One is that she had gained some weight while on cancer treatment, and even more while taking an aromatase inhibitor, Anastraozole. The second thing she struggled with was joint pain. When she got up from her chair at her desk, she'd have to hobble along for a couple steps. Eventually, her joints would feel better and she'd start to walk normal again. People would always ask, "Are you hurt? Are you okay?" And she'd just say, no, it's just the drug I'm on. It felt awful. She felt like she looked like her elderly mother. The main drawback is that she'd always been athletic. She loved exercising all of her life, either doing cardio or playing tennis, and now she found that she was completely avoiding those activities because of her joint pain. But avoiding these activities is only making your joint pain worse and causing you to gain weight. So here's what we did. The best thing that you can do for your joint pain is low intensity cardio. I want you to start with walking to relieve your joint pain. Now, if you're thinking, my joints ache, there is no possible way I can do this. I want you to start very small. Instead of thinking you need to go for a 30-minute walk every single day, I want you to go for 2 10-minute walks a day, one in the morning and one in the evening. We're gonna give your body long breaks between those walks. Slowly start relieving your joint pain and building up your tolerance. Okay, but on to the third thing that you need to know about aromatase inhibitors. Aromatase inhibitors can cause hair loss. It's frustrating, I know. You've just gotten through chemo and you're just starting to regrow your hair. Now you're gonna be put on a medication that could maybe cause hair loss, but there's something we can do about this. Scalp massage. We wanna stimulate the blood flow to your head so that your hair is able to grow fuller and faster. We do this through a simple daily scalp massage. Add this to your routine every single evening. I want you to massage your head for 20 minutes every night. This actually feels amazing, and it's gonna significantly improve how quickly your hair grows. Okay, on to the fourth thing that you need to know about aromatase inhibitors. They cause hot flashes. With the suppression of estrogen in your body, it's known that these medications cause hot flashes, but it's often underrated by clinicians. In my clinical practice, the majority of women that I work with actually suffer from hot flashes while on aromatase inhibitors, even if you're postmenopausal. If you start taking an aromatase inhibitor, it will further suppress your estrogen and potentially cause hot flashes. Anytime we're changing the estrogen levels in your body, there's potential that hot flashes can occur. Now, hot flashes definitely vary from woman to woman, but there's some classic presentations that we see among cancer survivors. Women describe their hot flashes as more of a flush rather than a flash. Or they might describe it as just a dysregulation of temperature control. You either get too hot or too cold. Now, the intensity of these hot flashes can really range, just like when you go through natural menopause. Some women experience really severe hot flashes, upwards of 12 to 18 a day. They'll wake up several times a night in a night sweat. They're taking off the covers, sleeping with fans, putting frozen peas on their neck, anything to cool down. And the result is that they're very, very tired. This fatigue just makes them more anxious, causes them to sleep less and have more hot flashes. It's a vicious cycle. But the good news is that you can control your hot flashes without any medications at all. Now, of course, there are other prescription drugs that are effective at controlling hot flashes, but these drugs also have a big downside. The side effects of these medications are tough. These drugs can kind of turn you into a zombie-like state or make you sedated. Some women just find them really tough to take. So here's what we're gonna do instead. Start paced breathing. Paced breathing has been shown to lower the intensity and number of hot flashes that women experience. If you're struggling with night sweats, then we wanna focus on resolving these first, so you can get a good night's sleep. Then we can shift to focusing on lowering the hot flashes during the day. So in your bedtime routine, I want you to add in paced breathing. Paced breathing is a type of meditation where you focus on slowing down your breathing and your breath to calm your body down and lower your hot flashes. But with that said, I know meditation or paced breathing is difficult for some women. For myself, I really wanted to get into meditation during my cancer treatment and recovery, but it was really hard. My mind would be wandering and I'd have a hard time sitting there focusing for that amount of time. It just didn't feel like it was right for me. So instead, I want you to start with a guided paced breathing. This is gonna walk you through step by step on how to breathe, what to focus on, how to complete the exercise. Start right away to start getting control of your hot flashes while on an aromatase inhibitor. Okay, so on to the next thing that you need to know about aromatase inhibitors. No one is talking about this, but I'm gonna dive into it. This could really change your life. Vaginal dryness. After cancer, about 50% of women actually just stop having sex. It's painful, it's uncomfortable. Half of cancer survivors stop having sex completely. That's terrible. That does not sound like the type of life you want to live. We need to correct this. The vaginal dryness and sex dysfunction that come along with aromatase inhibitors is hardly ever talked about, but it's a known side effect. Now, there are many different products for vaginal dryness. Unlike hormone replacement therapy that you take by mouth, vaginal hormone replacement therapy actually has less systemic absorption, meaning that if you use estrogen vaginally, the estrogen levels in your body will not be changed. But This is newer literature, so I understand if you're still uncomfortable using estrogen vaginally if you have a hormone-positive breast cancer. So I'm gonna give you another solution in case you wanna avoid estrogen altogether. Now, there are many products that you can use topically to control vaginal dryness. Hyaluronic acid has been shown to improve vaginal dryness and painful sex in cancer survivors. This product is widely available and I'll link it up below. Okay, but if you're taking an aromatase inhibitor or thinking about taking one in the future, then we need to dive into your food. Food is really the basis of everything we need to do to control your symptoms and reclaim your life after cancer. That's exactly why I'm linking up this next video here. Click the video here. I'll see you in the next video.